Well, hello everybody and welcome. Apologies for the delay getting into things, but Fnatic versus Movistar are live in front of your eyes right now. We'll talk a little bit about how we got to this position in just a little bit. As Movistar, they've already blitzed out towards the A side, but only with Eastor, who's actually doing some good damage, trying to clock up a kill, but can't manage it as Brawlin takes a second and Crims keeps on following up. This is looking like a bit of a disaster for the T side.
Yeah, all right. That was a very quick round. Of course, we were in a couple seconds late. What we seen initially was Fnatic just did, sorry, not Fnatic, Movistar Riders just attempting to burst the pop dog and out of a main, and they did get a couple players out. It was just the smokes on the bomb side, I think, were a little bit awkward, so there was still some vision above. And yeah, we seen Brolin kind of just tapping away, giving them a good start. They were able to easily contain then the rest of the push around that E-box area and just delay Movistar Riders, who don't really find any success at all. Without that bomb plant, we do just see a full eco. Of course, Mitch, as we did hop in a little bit late, we didn't get to really touch on the Veto or how it went down. Obviously, here on Train, it is the map choice of Movistar Riders, which is a good map for them, sure, but it's also one that Fnatic are very capable of playing. And with Inferno up next for Fnatic, this one is kind of just a must-win for Movistar if we're being real.
Yeah, you look at these two teams, you don't expect a whole bunch from Movistar against one of the best teams in the world right now. And regardless of how the maps go or which maps came out in this veto, I wouldn't ever feel scared for Fnatic. Movistar could prove a lot by taking them down, but it's going to require every ounce of strength and ability that they've got in the tank. For this one, just clocks. Not too much of a surprise that they don't get much done. Still one kill. Better than nothing. When you look at...
No flusher.
Just use all the bullets. Why not? You got enough.
He's like, I've got like 60 of them. May as well.
But, Dean, so getting here, we better just tell the people at home. A little bit of a botch starting it off. We're a little bit slow. We've got auto director, and that's because we didn't know this was happening today. There was a little bit of a mix-up in the schedules. Things were changed around, but it slipped through the cracks. So we've had to set this up with about 30 minutes notice. So you got to give us a little bit of leeway if there are any mistakes on broadcast today. Better to have
just roast Mitch.
Yeah, or that, I guess. Preferably not, because... Obviously, it's better to set it up last minute than to have you guys without a stream for this, so we at least get to watch the match either way. Hopefully, we'll get an observer in at some point. Boys in the back end are working on that, as Fnatic are working on Movistar Riders. Nice little flank up from, was it Brawlin as well?
It has pulled all of the rotations off of A. This was such a weird round. Fnatic weren't even sure. They heard so much going on at B that they they got the flank up through Pop Dog. They rotated two players in through Connector, and in the meantime have actually lost A, which is not a bad result for Movistar now, giving themselves quite a bit of time to set up and play off with a bomb with some nades remaining. The only issue is no smoke, so it's just going to be the Molotov and a couple of flashes then they can use to try and help out. And Steel, I believe he is in trouble. Okay, gets dinked around the corner of the wall, but it just doesn't matter. Still finds himself the double. Evens out now for Easter and Lowell to try and play this 2-on-2. And as I said, with the bomb already ticking away, it's going to be hard. JW is the man with the defuse kick currently. Brolin taps the bomb to try and bait out those peaks as he pushes forward, but there's a man in sandwich as well. You see Easter being a nuisance, and at this point, he's pretty much won the round for them already. There's nothing really that JW can do. Okay, as that kill came in, I was going to say maybe, but JW wasn't on the bomb yet, so even then, there still wasn't time.
Yeah, the clock being the main issue for them. I do feel like Fnatic got away with a pretty good round, though, at the end of the day. They did a lot of damage to Movistar Riders, taking every weapon out of their hands. The flank up to B gave the SMGs frags, upgraded to rifles. They walk away with 2 AKs. All in all, considering what Movistars were up against with all those SMGs in play, I would be happy if I'm Fnatic. You give over that one round, and now you have the potential to force them onto an eco by winning this one here, and Movistar have already shown cracks. At the same time, being caught off by SMGs running up the ladder and blitzing behind you quickly is something that is allowed, I guess. In that kind of round, you should be ready for it, but it's hard to really predict what those SMGs are going to do.
Yeah, I think it was because they only had the 2 players over there on the B side, and once the first player found contact, the Pop Dog man had to kind of go and help him out a little bit. We have right now A main aggression actually coming in from Fnatic. This is an interesting setup. Brolin is able to find the 1 from E-Box, but as soon as he finds contact, Crims comes back to try and help, and then gets swarmed on by 3 players who were eventually moving in through main. So again, Movistar Riders in a pretty decent position, this time with the man advantage as they move forward, but there is, of course, defenders this time on that A-bomb side, so it's a little bit harder. Alex has already gone ahead and claimed them yet another kill. They know Flush is in the connector, and I believe they've spotted JW as well. Kind of surprising that they haven't just gone ahead and maybe backed this off. Steel has walked into B, but the issue is the bomb is all the way over towards Blue Train. Okay, it's actually in hell. Yeah, JW just walks around the smoke. He has no idea where Lowell is, though, so he thinks this is B. which is fair because there was a player over there. It's just the bomb isn't.
Oh, he has an idea actually that they're going to be doing this. He goes up the ladder, faking out the sound cues, hoping to catch them as they cross, and Steel could be in danger. About to take the peek on Brown Train. JW looks straight towards him, but he won't be finding the kill today. Movistar Riders connecting a second. They avoid being pushed to an eco and actually do that to their opponent. The potential now to follow up and take a third is definitely in play.
Yeah, it's more than just in play. I'd say it's very likely here, considering they are looking at the eco. It's not quite a double eco. You see 1600 obviously for Flusha, but that's after he's gone ahead and bought up a deagle for himself. So that was kind of optional. It will leave him on, what, 4,000 coming into this next round. Obviously not being ideal. If he has the Emperor when he could save him a little bit of money, get him a little bit extra in terms of the nades, but otherwise, he is going to be a little bit limited on the investment. So, ideally, wanting to maybe get a few kills here. If they could steal away a rifle or do some Movistar Riders, that would be a nice little bonus for them. As I say that, again, Movistar Riders, they've been loving this. Just drop down instantly, just swing out a pop dog. They don't realize there's a player above them. They have no idea right now. Yeah, well, they do now. JW eventually gets one, drops down. Not quite able to follow up, but being a lot more in 9 than he really should have been with just the USP. So, yeah, you can't flush it and Crim's out of this. Crim's right now, I believe, is wrapped around towards Brown Train, and they don't currently know. But there is still a man around Pop Dog that he has to worry about.
Yeah, Crims could be in danger as they look to push out. Should be spotted immediately. There you go. And so it is only Flusha. He said that Pop Dog player being the thorn in the side. With a deagle in hand, it's going to be a rough clutch. Looking for them crossing the site. Knows they have to eventually, unless they pull all the way back. Going out for a little bit of information. Getting eager. But he hasn't spotted anyone just yet. They're taking this so slowly. You can see the respect they're giving Fnatic at the moment. A 3 versus 1. You know he hasn't recovered an AK, and yet still they inch forward.
Yeah, this is really as cautious as you could be. And against a team like Fnatic, it does make sense. You don't want to be giving them any opportunities. A man like Flush it as well with a deagle. He can hit some crazy shots. He can just shake that mouse a little bit and bam, you're all dead. He's coming in from Ivy right now. If he can even find one, as you said, a little bit extra damage would be really nice. But nah, they peek it together. As soon as they find contact, you have Lel swinging in from up close. And yeah, they managed to close that with 3 players surviving. There was a few pistols being upgraded, but overall, Fnatic really didn't invest too much into that previous round. So I think they can be pretty happy with the fact that they were able to get 2 kills. But as I said, there is still a bit of a limitation on the full gun round that they have coming out right now. Flusha goes for the UMP. It obviously helps in terms of giving them more nades and giving them a kit, which they wouldn't have had otherwise. But this round is kind of a must-win for Fnatic early on. Otherwise, you'll see Fnatic, you see Movistar very likely being able to actually go up to a 5-2 lead here on the T side off the back of this one. Again, lots of presence being shown towards A, but this time not following up with it. Instead, moving through the B halls. Oh, that nade. I don't think it's going to really do too much to Brolin. Yeah, bounced away. We are, of course, still on the old patch here, so the nades aren't quite as quite as explosive, I guess, as they could be otherwise.
True. We do have the new icons.
Oh, we do. We have the kill feeds. Yeah, that came in the previous one, so we didn't have them actually before.
No, we didn't,
we were on the
this is just in this one, so
we're just always an update behind, guys.
But that's it. Yeah, it's for stability reasons, though. It makes sense. Hello and good night. Golden stops the spray prematurely. A blinded Lel takes him through the smoke. I'm loving that kill feed already. And Flusha, he got a second. That is daylight robbery. The flank on its way up onto Alex. And even planting won't be possible anymore, especially not without a head. I got news for you as well, Dean. Very, very good news. On the way is none other than the beautiful Zarks. He's going to be hopping in to help us out.
I want JK. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zarks. I love you.
Just expect us to catch even less action than with Auto Director once Zarks is in. No. We jest, but he's not in just yet, so we're going to be stoked with Auto Director for now. As we said,
we can manage for a little while.
Yeah, as we said, it's good. Last minute, you know, we're piecing together a broadcast at the final hour, and it's appreciated. We got myself and Dean on. Zarks is here now, ESL, just fixing all the problems, so we should be nice and clean before we even get to the halftime here.
We're in an eco in this one as well. I guess we could be worth noting that, of course, this is the 11th, 12th place decider, and I believe the 11th place gets 100 more points in the Road to Rio, kind of RMR, I think is what it's called, in comparison to the 12th place. So there is a decent amount on the line here. Obviously, all of that adding up to try and take these teams to the major, even though they're not looking too great so far in this one specifically. This is going to be dangerous. I mean, JW right now is just rocking the USP. Obviously, Alex doesn't have head armor, but he does have a deagle. So this could be a fairly equal fight, but nah, it's not going to be allowed. Alex didn't expect him to be up close. I mean, why would he be?
Check when we'll get things up and running here in the back end.
Movistar Riders have got things back up and running, Mitch. They're back on their rifles. No ops available, which is obviously a big big issue for a player like Easter, who is so fantastic with that once he gets it going. He can still be a very capable rifler, sure, but on a map like Train, you do want him on that op for the potential of opening picks, especially against a team like Fnatic, who have JW, obviously. Again, early A aggression being shown. It's going to be traded back by Lowell here as he comes down Pop Dog, but they've already lost 2 players around A main. They've been brought down into the 3-on-4. Sure, they've dealt a little bit of damage back, but they've also taken it. I believe knowing that Brolin should be close in the sandwich at this point. I don't think they've actually spotted him, but it may not even be needed. Already JW gets one. Crims had gone ahead and picked one off as well, and yeah, this one's done. It's just all on Lowell. He's backing away at this point. He had already gotten 1 kill from Pop Dog, so they do know he was around here. They've cleared out the exact position, so they know he's moved back up through the B halls. I guess at this point, with a minute remaining, it could be a little bit scary because he obviously could have moved around through B. He could be going anywhere right now. But the issue is Brolin's already pushed through main. He's got a good position here. Unless Lowell wins this fight, which is going to be really difficult, then it's over. And even if he did win that fight at that point, obviously, he likely would have been left quite low. He was already fairly tagged up. At that point, the information definitely would have been known. There would have been 3 players all focused around main. So, yeah, there really wasn't much to be done once he lost the bomb as well. Pause comes in from Movistar. They are down 5-3 right now, but they're on the T side of Train. So having 3 rounds already, try and double that. Just grind out a few more throughout the rest of the half, and you can still be in a decent enough position.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming into this and Movistar Riders are 5-3 down, having won the pistol round and followed up, then I'm in a different boat. I'm gonna say that this is still clear-cut Fnatic. And whilst I do believe Fnatic have the upper hand and will probably win this 2-0. Don't want to sell false hope there. Movistar Riders, the fact that they managed to win round 3 and 4, that really sold me a little bit in the fact that they've got a chance to close this. I mean, round 3, they're up against the SMGs. It was close. It wasn't fantastic because they ended up losing, what, was that the round they lost all their players? Yeah, it was actually.
It was, yeah, because it was where they went down into the 3-on-4 after the kind of crazy B play happened and the rotations came in.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So they lost all their players to SMGs and won because of time. Then they follow up, though, in the bye round and take the victory. And that's really what they needed to do, confirming themselves a 3rd round. And so long as they can repeat that once more, they will not be in a horrible spot. The problem is that follow-up, that eco from Fnatic can't happen. Not easily anymore. They need to find a couple of kills here to make sure that that comes through. If they go out of this round without 2 frags, they're in trouble. Already getting 1 as they move towards the B bomb site, but tapping away. Golden's got range on this. He's got the armor to work with. Lowell trying to get a bomb plant in, but it's not their money I'm worried about. It's the CTs. And in fact, that cash flow will just continue to go their way. The bank's building up, and Fnatic now good for probably 2 rounds before they have to eco. Movistar Riders, well, they're gonna have to fight tooth and nail for this. Win 2 gun rounds against Fnatic to end up in a decent position.
Ideally, convincingly as well, just so that they can start building up their own money. Because obviously, if they can do it, if they can get these next couple of rounds in a convincing fashion, as you said, Fnatic's economy would run out. But if Movistar Riders can bolster up their own economy in the meantime, they'll still be in a spot where they could maybe even win out the half for themselves. The issue is Steel there, based on the spawn, tries to take the pick with the op out towards a main, and then Brolin instantly following it up just isn't expected, and they cannot stop him getting the 2nd on Easter. That's the A main control completely gone. There's 2 players left, Mitch, separated with 1 over towards Ivy, 1 in Pop Dog. There's really 0 that they can do to be helping each other right now. And this one's just done. Lowell again is the last man standing. This time in the 1-on-5. Finds 1 kill, sure, but brought the 49 in the meantime. He's already lost half of his health just to get 1. And they're having fun. They're trying to get that molly in A main, which is stuck under the train, I think. Are they not able to shoot it out? Oh, Brolin shot it. It's rolling back a little bit. I think they've just given up on it.
Don't want to commit too many resources.
Yeah. Then you're like 600 quid, guys.
They know exactly where Lowell is now as well. He got tagged up by the molly, went up the ladder quickly to evade death, but instead He's now got CTs locked and loaded on his position. He's going to have to go and die, realistically. They know exactly where he is. They've got players coming through T-spawn. They're watching him walking out B, and he's got 9 health. He doesn't survive this if he tries to wait out the 30 seconds. They'll push him in after time and make sure he's got no cash built up.
I don't know if they'll want to hunt him after time, but even if they let him save, obviously the issue is there with the, I mean, the loss bonus is in place, so it wouldn't be too big of a deal because as long as he doesn't spend the 350 that he has now, he'd still be able to get back onto the buy in the following round when all of his teammates are buying. But yeah, Golden right now is actually hunting this one, so he will go down. He has 3750 with the loss bonus. As I said, the money here isn't terrible for them, but I doubt they're going to buy. Likely just a half investment, see if they can get another bomb plant, see if they, as you said before, can actually get a few kills at least and put a dent in that economy from Fnatic, which at the moment is beginning to get out of control. They definitely have 2 buys in the reserve now. It was a little bit shaky, obviously, with Flusha being low on money, but when you have a look at everyone else, they should be pretty good to drop over weapons and such if needed. So yeah, a tough spot for Movistar to be in, especially as they can't get the full buy here. If they aren't able to get any kills with this much weaker investment, then Fnatic are probably going to be building up their economy into a sufficient spot for the rest of this half. Bringing it back towards B, I like this. We haven't seen them go for really many full Bs apart from just that one earlier on.
Just the one smoke to work with. So if they lob that down the ramp and then get mollied out, that's the plan pretty much gone to SH1T. It's out the window. Here we go, utility coming over. Molly goes down behind. That's going to slow a lot of the players. Like we said, they have no counter to it as they make their way onto the site. Somehow Mopaz is destroying them with a Tech 9. 2 opening duels. Steel comes through with another, and as Crims is spamming, Mopaz is close, but low on HP, and doesn't want to risk that run through. 2v... Oh. Well, 2v2 now. They've lost their weapons as well. Those were the rifles they'd retrieved. That's a shame. Calm down.
That's absolutely heartbreaking. I think they were just trying to delay, because you can see Lowell obviously was already on his way around through the A bomb site, trying to help from Connector now on that flank, but it's only Easter who's around the actual bomb site itself, so at this point, Fnatic have kind of slowed things down themselves. The bomb obviously being dropped, as you said, towards Grey Train, and with Fnatic falling away, that should give a little bit of room now for that AK to be retrieved, for the bomb to be picked up and likely planted. This is an interesting one, but it makes sense because they didn't know where the players were. They didn't know if there was a flanker coming through, if someone could be coming through IV even behind them, so they just wait, they let that bomb get planted, and now they're going to move in together for this retake. JW at the moment just rocking a deagle, though, as is Lowell in Connector, but it doesn't matter. Even without the helmet, or with the helmet rather, Lyle not going to be saved by that one. It is all on Easter with that retrieved AK, as I said, but no Kevlar. 67 health now to try and pull off the 1-on-2. But the first line of contact being JW towards Connector. The issue is, as he pops back, Crims elevated up towards Heaven is just not going to be expected. 8-3, a close round, and a good one overall from Movistar Riders, as I said. Only buying the pistols, Kevlar, and some nades. I just love shooting bodies.
I mean, you got to do it right. It's like a sign of dominance. The timeout coming through from Movistar Riders is essential. You see, as we said before, when this money is built up for Fnatic, the possibility of Movistar getting to 5 or 6 rounds is diminished greatly. They never get to find what they had before. Let's open up that scoreboard. Round 3, they face against SMGs and barely win it. Round 4, the only head-to-head gun round that they won, and they follow through on round 5, which was an eco. Ever since then, when Fnatic have had the weapons in hand, they have dominated. And I think probably one of the best rounds Movistar had was with the pistols there towards that B side. A 4v2. Everything was going their way, and 2 swift picks later, it all goes to hell. They need to figure out what's going wrong in these buy rounds, and figuring out how to beat Fnatic on the CT side, it's not the easiest. I will give them that. I'm not expecting them to come through and have gotten 7 rounds on the board by now. I'm not shaming them for it. It is a really tough game, but if they do want to continue things on, they're going to need to get it. And we've got Zarks on the server now, which means our X-ray has disappeared. So we've got an observer, but no X-ray. So we'll fix that in between this round and the next. For now, though, we're going to have to just be with the players, be one with the gun as Steel comes through on Crimson Brawl, and 2 players behind the smoke. A flash goes through, but he doesn't. He stays back and works the pixel angle around the edge of that smoke and allows his teammates to plant. They're being peeked. Oh, somehow, JW didn't spot them.
Yeah, somehow not. Concessions were made, as you said, with the X-ray not working. I've gotten mine back on, so hopefully you'll be able to do yours soon. But for now, the 2-1-4 for Fnatic. The question is, can they make this happen? They've got some money. They're looking for the opening still for the moment to see if it'll really allow them to move forward. But if they don't find one in the next couple of seconds, at that point there really isn't any other option than to back away because the time is already beginning to tick a little bit too quickly. Flusha eventually getting one, but yeah, as you've seen already, Alex, he knew he was behind the E-box. The second Flusha actually takes contact up against Mopos instead, Alex just swings out knowing that Flusha won't be able to reset that spray quick enough. 8-4, Movistar Riders, they do finally bounce back with another round after going down 6 in a row. So they really had kind of let things slip away. But as I had pointed out, already having 3 on the T side, it's an okay foundation to have so early on. So you grind out another few rounds, and then suddenly you're like, okay, yeah, good enough T side. But they need to keep this up. They can't afford to have Fnatic bounce back with what, as we had said, was a pretty good economy. They come out on the double up setup immediately. Oh, and they're going to be finding contact with it. Yeah, Flusha straight over towards B. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to connect. He will instantly drop the Molotov, and for now, Movistar Riders, they've cancelled that quick B push. Not looking to try and commit down the ramp now, and obviously without having the Heaven control, there really isn't a lot that they can do. They just go out, you get worried, you get kind of caught and delayed by Flusha up in Heaven. It gives time for everyone else to rotate, so nah, they're going to just slow things down, split back up, and take this into a default most likely.
Again, still haven't got the X-ray sorted, but we'll do that coming into the next round. It's a fun experience for everybody at home.
I can send you the command on Steam if you want. Make it a little bit easier.
I've just gotten it there, but I didn't have time to put it in.
You got the command. Yeah. I figured that was the biggest issue. I thought I'd just speed it up then between rounds, you know? Oh, yeah. That smoke, the timing on A main. They're still just under a minute, so I mean, they're not too worried right now. It is obviously still a 5-on-5, but their kind of early plans in the round have been filed. So the question is, how have they actually readjusted now? Setting themselves up outside of main, most likely just going to be that A split, I suppose, with a player but Pop Dog too. Oh, what was that? Looked like it was a bit of damage. Didn't actually quite manage to connect.
Well, Movistar, they did well with the fast A, now a much slower approach. Fnatic tucked in. They've already got 4 players almost on the site before Movistar actually get a kill on the board, but once they get rolling, they keep it popping. Alex on the JW, and Golden falls too. Now Movistar with a man advantage and the ability to plant that bomb. The nade through, not going to take down Mopaz, but he does get tickled a little bit as Eastore deletes Brawlin to put Flusha all by himself. No information. We're seeing this from his perspective. No X-ray on, and you see just how hard it is.
That's implying Flusha doesn't have his own X-ray, Mitch.
I've heard things, all right? Reddit's been telling me.
Rumors. Nah, they're old ones now. Yeah, no, Flusha's just chilling. He's backing away. With the op, it doesn't really make much sense for him to go for this, especially considering he's the only man on his team who doesn't have enough to rebuy in the next round. So as long as he saves, then they will have a pretty good investment. But Movistar Riders are up to 5 now. If they get one more, sit on 6, that's a T-side that they can actually be pretty happy with. So Fnatic ideally do need to bounce back in this following round. I mean, considering they're fully buying in this next one as well, if Fnatic lose that, very likely Movistar Riders are going to be bringing it up to 7, because into the final round of the half, then Fnatic would be struggling to buy unless they're able to save over weapons once again. Don't forget the X-ray, Mitch.
Yeah, we'll sort that now. Let me, oh, this is gonna be scuffed. Hold on. Okay, that's still working. Good. Do this. We do that. And voila. Back in the game we go. Look at that. Look how quickly. They call this a last-minute setup. A mystical man. A technical genius. Now, I'm surprised they didn't mess something up there. But luckily, no one got blasted with jump scare advertisements if you weren't here about a week ago.
I was mid-sentence and Mitch decided it was a good time to run the ads, which are very loud.
Yeah, very, unfortunately. But, you know, it adds a little bit of flair to the broadcast. Bit of fun. Woo! Grims.
Trying to swarm A. Yeah, Grims just destroys 2 of them.
And it doesn't look like that's going to give them the advantage forever. Movistar quickly pulling it back. Eastore on the long-range shot. The AWP scoping in, looking for more. It's actually Lel with the op. And he does damage too on 17 HP. The Bogdan Law comes into effect, and Fnatic with a tagged up Crims and a Flusha have got to hold out. Movistar Riders, it looked next to impossible. They'll even push Fnatic to an eco in the next round if they manage to find this, or a very low buy, I should say. It won't be an eco, I guarantee that. But it will not be the comfortable buy that you would hope for the finale. Movistar with a good chance of connecting 7. This is madness, mayhem, and Fnatic. They've got to be disappointed. They need to clutch this one out to still walk away with a good half.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Otherwise, they're trying to fight back up to stop Movistar Riders from finding 7 rounds with a very weak investment. Crims already has 2 kills to his name, but he has, with that being taken very low, down to 20 health. The positive being obviously the bomb is dropped in the open, and the time is beginning to get low, so that could be a massive issue. Lowell over towards Sandwich, showing himself. He doesn't want to keep fighting it. Right now they have a player wrapping in through the back lines, and yeah, just no idea at all. Easter has a free kill pretty much for himself. Now Flush It again is left alone. He has a chance to maybe stop that bomb planter. Instead finds Easter up close, but this is winnable. The 1-on-2. But Lowell elevates himself up on top of the green train, peeks alongside his teammate as he jumps up as well, and they played that quite well to ensure against an op that they're not going to be getting 2-on-1'd. 6 for Movistar, likely 7 off the back of it, as we pointed out, unless Fnatic here with just an op, and then Deagles on everyone else can manage to get themselves the victory. And surprisingly, it's Crims who has the op. Not too surprising considering he was the one who could afford it, but not normally the man, of course, you see pulling out that weapon.
I'm impressed, Dean, honestly. Movistar at this point, I'm glad I didn't count them out and I gave them the chance. But honestly, that was only verbally. In my mind, this was Fnatic walking away with probably 11 rounds. They might be good for 9. The Deagle's doing so much damage, Dean. It's a 4 versus 2. Movistar Riders getting decimated by the pistols.
I love jinxing things, but maybe you've jinxed it in return, because Alex has gotten JW at least. And with Golden being low, with the weapons favoring Movistar Riders, I don't think they're going to be feeling like they're out of this round by any means. The issue is with the bomb outside A main, Lowell really does need to find something here as he's creeping in through B. He doesn't want to take too long either, otherwise the CTs are actually going to start wondering about what's going on this side of the map, and you can kind of already see that is the case. Flush It every now and again is having a little clear back into connector, and a nicely timed Molotov to stop Alex from being able to push out for now. So yeah, this is going to be very difficult. They're really just waiting for Lowell to get himself into a position here where he can hopefully catch 1 or 2 players off guard, and with that let them start actually moving forward. We've even seen, is that Golden now who's wrapped around on B? Yeah, he had a little bit of a peek out on the B. Doesn't see anyone immediately in that area, but obviously doesn't know if they could have walked in through connector or backlines already, so they do still need to be careful.
That's the cheeky angle by Crims. No way Lowell could really anticipate it or deal with it. And with that, 9 rounds on the board for Fnatic. They did well. There's no doubt about that. But considering the position Movistar were in, to come back into that, to win all those rounds, the magical timeout, and it worked for them. Movistar's working their magic, and we're going to go to a quick halftime break. But when we come back, we'll see what they've got planned for us on the CT side. I'm excited to see what they've got in store.
Even if we fall, skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby.
A pretty insane comeback by Movistar Riders to clock up 6 rounds on the board. They used their timeouts. They kept level-headed, even against one of the best teams in the world. And now we see what they can do on the CT side. It has been a weak performance so far from Eastor. He's going to have to step it up. But that's when the AWP comes out. For now, it's all down to pistols as Fnatic quickly blitz in towards the A site. One shot by Eastor, but his teammates not following up as quickly.
Golden been able to drop steal right there, now bringing it into the man advantage for Fnatic. Brolin even extending it, dropping it to just Lowell and Mopaz now, who have to try and claw this round back for Movistar Riders, and they do need it. Losing this one puts them in such a difficult spot, and that's exactly what we see. Headshots just everywhere for Fnatic. It is now 10-6 for them, and despite, of course, having a decent recovery there towards the end of that half for Movistar Riders, losing the pistol puts them in an awkward spot where, okay, do you take the eco? Do you try and come into the gun round in the next round? Obviously, at that point, having a lack of nades and such behind the rifles. Or do you take the force buy here, try and fight right back in? The issue is, if the force buy doesn't work, at that point, you're going down 12-6. So this force buy is a must-win for Movistar Riders. They cannot afford to get off to a slow start yet again. And even on the first half, they only went down 2-0 before coming back with 3 of their own. We're seeing a straight-up B-rush though from Fnatic, so this could be dangerous. Yeah, they run into the stack. Mopos and Easter just combining the deagle spams. It's only the one headshot to be found. It was just the overall damage to the bodies with the spams coming in. There is a quick flank from Steel as well, which I don't think is going to be expected. He picks up the MP5, and that was really the ideal weapon for that position. But unfortunately, against an AK, Golden hits the headshot, ensures it's not going to be an issue. And now it's Lowell and Alex to try and actually close this round out for Movistar Riders. They've been given a lot of room, though, especially Alex to move in because of Lowell wasting time. The issue is he doesn't find a kill. He needed at least one there.
Smoke comes down, tap on the bomb. Alex has got a low HP player up close, but they've got enough time. Delay, I'm surprised Golden continued to face that, but they win it either way and take it over 11-6. Movistar going to be put down to a lower buy now, and that's going to hurt them. One point that we were actually bringing up, Dean, just between the timeout, I would say before the game, but we didn't have time to talk before the game, unfortunately. When you look at Eastor as an AWPer at the moment, he just doesn't perform on the level that you would need, let's say, up against the likes of Fnatic. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad sign. If you guys watched any of the death segments back when Eastor joined this roster, the first tournaments they were competing in the Hotshot series, I was not a big fan of his. But he's grown into the role, slowly and over time. And I think we'll see, as time goes on even further, maybe he'll be able to compete against players like this. He's adapted to a more aggressive playstyle in the AWP, but when you put him against a top 5, top 10 team, he just doesn't have... I mean, how many times have Movistar Riders played against this level of opponent? Okay.
Sorry, I was getting a little bit afraid there.
Me too. Just when he found that third kill, I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't the round to just talk a little bit. Because sometimes you want to monologue over those little USP rounds, PT50s, because nothing happens. But no, how many times have Movistar Riders played against a top-level opponent like this? Is it even 10? Is it even in the double digits?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to go look and see if there is actually a way to check that. I'll at least have a look at their more recent games. But yeah, no, it's not like they're playing teams that are on the level of Fnatic often. So
exactly.
It is definitely going to be a more difficult game for them. Obviously, we pointed out here on Train, it's going to be kind of a necessity for Movistar Riders if they want to keep themselves in this series. And it's not looking too good right now. JW straight out towards the E-box. Will be blinded eventually, but he has Brolin to at least follow up and get that trade yet again. But we are seeing Movistar Riders fighting back into this one right now. It's Easter to get to, Alex on the op as well. And despite a poor start, that double op setup that they've gone for here, they kind of, I would say, very hefty investment considering it's one of the few gun rounds they're going to get. But they knew they needed this round, so they went for it, and it's working out fairly well. But they are against Crims. Crims can still have a chance here. Creeping out main. Alex isn't holding an aggressive angle. You have Easter then just hiding up in heaven, and then Mopo's also backing off through connector. So there's still hope here that he could maybe actually manage to force these one-on-ones. Oh, spotted. He is indeed spotted. Still does damage and gets the kill, but leg down already. Against the op of Alex, that may not matter. M's are struggling for me apparently right now.
It's going to be Alex to take him down in the back lines. He just left that unchecked on the wider angle. And 12-7 we go. Movistar going to keep themselves alive at least a little bit longer. But it is very much a learning curve. It's a matter of how Movistar needs to keep competing at this level, keep trying to take the rounds away and get the experience up, and then maybe someday we'll see this whole roster being able to compete against the level of Fnatic. I mean, the project that they commit towards, the majority Spanish lineup, and I would say entirety, but obviously Steel came in recently. It's admirable and something that, as they adjusted the lineup year by year, month by month, you get there eventually to a position where hopefully the synergy within the region will be able to allow you to compete, although limiting your player pool, I guess. But I like the fact that I've seen eStore adapt to tier 3 teams when he had nothing to say against them in the very beginning. Makes me believe that over time he'll show up on a better level. He gets enough time to commit. Blushing? Hey, he only gets the one. Alright, if he took Lowell down, I was actually going to be a little bit excited for the round. There was only one player on B, could have rushed in, tried to find it, but never mind.
I think it's definitely partly about how he's utilized as well. We certainly haven't seen him playing as aggressive in this matchup as they would otherwise, and that would come down to obviously them realizing, yeah, we're against Fnatic. We can't be kind of as crazy as we would be against other teams who are around our normal level, going for those kind of, you know, you can be a little bit wilder in the beginning of a round when you're against kind of a team you'd consider worse than yourself to get that advantage and just make it so comfortable for yourself to not have really any too big gambles. But against Fnatic, you can't really manage to do that. It's 2 Galils, though, in this full buy, so I'm not going to count out Movistar Riders from being able to actually start building up a good comeback here on the CT side by any means. Again, this is their map choice. So you would imagine that they have done a good bit of preparation for this matchup. A bit of a slow default, though, from Fnatic. Nothing too crazy in the beginning. They're clearly looking to get the pop dog control. At least they were showing a lot of presence with those nades and such being tossed in, so I think they might work for it a little bit later in the round, but for now it's just going to be smoked off. And they're not really making any advancements anywhere, just waiting for Movistar Riders to make the first play. We've had a standoff here for a while now, Mitch. There we go.
No one wants to be the first one to make a mistake, you know? You want to just swing through, but... I mean, Fnatic had some decent success with JW just rushing out of A main, but it is a little bit late to be taking that kind of approach. JW, though, gets the opening. eStore flash banging up Alex. Unfortunately, that landed a little bit too shallow, although I don't think it was that blind. You saw it from his perspective. As we come into a 4v3, eStore on the op gets up above the smoke to look for more, but it's a little bit too deep to allow that.
Yeah, gave the room for Fnatic to creep into the back lines. A nicely timed smoke as well, but Steel doesn't care. He's just going to walk through it. That's the bomb. He's going to head and actually remove the bomb from Fnatic. That's confirmed this round over and done with. Flusha is left alone. There's no way he could get all these kills anyway. If he gets even one more at that point, you'd imagine they all just start hiding. They know the bomb obviously was in the back lines, so they know it was impossible for Flusha to do anything with it. So Movistar Riders, yeah, able to bring themselves up to a 9th round. Another gun round goes in their favor off the back of that without a bomb plant going down for Fnatic. They are looking at the eco with maybe just a few upgraded pistols. You don't expect really anything else. Double digits, that means, should be found for Movistar Riders. They're picking up the pace a little bit here. They're likely looking at 4 rounds in a row. Ideally, though, wanting to take this one clean because they do still have Steel on only $650 right now. They need to build up a bit of an economy. Otherwise, of course, they're always in trouble of losing 1 round and then immediately looking at an eco, which when you're already down 12-9 at this point, you can't afford to actually eco. You'd be down then 14. So it'd be an awkward spot to be in. Yeah, no nades at all for Fnatic. Just grouping up over on the B side of the map. The issue is that MP9 in the hands of Alex has got quite a bit of info towards Ivy, at least.
You've already seen good results from Fnatic when it comes down to pistols. Just like this. Well, from both teams, really. Been a much scrappier map than I expected starting this one off. And I know we said Movistar Riders need this one. When you move on to map 2, Fnatic should look a little bit cleaner. But the fact that they're able to fight this hard for it. I mean, realistically, Dean, let's be completely honest. I don't think either of us saw it. Even a 2-1 to Fnatic coming into this. Movistar aren't in a position in their career right now where they should be challenging Fnatic. And yet they are. They're putting up a really good fight. Steel 1-for-1 traded out isn't what you want. But luckily, the rest of the team answers back. There's a player on site, but he's now the only one left alive. And you can see Mopaz is playing that one super passive, letting him swing out, not taking the head peek angle. And so 12 to 10 we go. Double digits reached for Movistar, only 2 behind. And on the CT side, I would start to get a little bit worried if I was Fnatic. Maybe not right now, but if they lose this round, it's definitely time for alarm bells to be sounding. JW's again on a glass cannon.
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree that they might even be a little bit worried now because they also realize that if they're to lose this round, then they are in a bit of trouble. But still, being Fnatic on the D side of train, they can still get going. Movistar riders, I won't really start believing until they're able to get themselves up to about 12 to 12, which, as you said, it could be possible pretty soon. But we do still have to see how this round goes for Fnatic. It's a better buy overall. No Galil's in play, more nades. JW has been, I believe, glass cannon quite a few times now on the op, which isn't too big of a deal when he's going to be just challenging up against the Oppa Movistar riders anyway. The issue is he doesn't manage to win out that fight. It's Alex who has snatched an advantage already for the majority Spaniards lineup, and at this point they've stacked up the A-bomb site as well. They've got 4 players in position. Steal, while blinded, I believe, with an assist. There's smoke onto Brolin. I'm getting used to this new kill feed. we've been on the old patch up until today's games. Easter are going to go ahead and get flush it as well. Yeah, this is just done. Easter's just shutting down the rain in 2 pretty much. It's Crims again left alone. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they know his position. That's the issue. There's 4 of them who are just going to be watching in. That is nasty. No, don't let this happen, Movistar. Do not throw this one away. Easter has the up. If he moves forward at all, then obviously there's the opportunity that a shot could be missed and then Crims can bounce on it. So this is dangerous. He's waiting for Mopos to creep around the bomb site as well. The question is the timing. Is it going to work out for him? Oh, steps being made over towards connector. So he knows where at least one of those players are.
How is this flipped around so quickly? Crims can even get a bomb planted now. It would be risky. They could even be behind E-Box, Brown Train, Pop Dog, anywhere. So he's going to try to spot them out, and as he does, Mopaz takes the shot to finish it off. But man, that came pretty close. I mean, he just started tapping heads. Still, even with the 3k, it wasn't enough, and a 1v5 to pull it across the line, and Fnatic go down to another weak buy. Movistar set to equalize this, and at that point, I don't know, Dean, it gets a little bit scary, doesn't it?
I mean, as I agreed with you in the previous round, even when you said it was probably getting a little bit scary, just because Fnatic obviously know the scenarios of how the game can go. They knew if they were to lose that previous gun round, and that at that point, likely they were going to be just stuck on the eco, allowing Movistar riders to actually equalize the scoreline, and that is the very likely outcome now. Sure, there's some pistols, nades, Kevlar even on 3 of the players. And Train is a map where, in theory, you can get that bomb planted quite easily with these weaker investments over towards B. But even then, with the pistols, it's very hard to hold the afterplant on the B bomb site unless you're getting super aggressive. So they don't go for the straight rush. Instead, they're going to hold the default, maybe try and run down a couple nades from the CT side. And I guess with their own ones, maybe go for a little bit of a later execute, because they do still have 3 smokes in play.
They're going to use those smokes to try and close in the distance. A couple flashes as well. But at the moment, set in for an A split. It's a very deep smoke. Do they want to go back in? I presume he missed it. Either that or they wanted to go back in and seize control and pop. But Steel's not moving an inch. That would also be a crazy play versus these pistols. As they look to move forward, flashes go over, a nade returned. Lowell's able to pick the frag, but Steel's still stuck close and could be in danger. The pistols haven't spotted him just yet. He looks into T-Main, picks the kill, and finishes it off. A nice clean round, and that's the most important thing for Movistar. Look at their money. After investing into utility here, that will be all they need to buy up, and puts them in a position where they can realistically walk away with a loss in this round and still get a buyout. That's important to have that little bit of a buffer built up, especially against a team like Fnatic. You do not want to leave yourself losing one, ecoed, and then all of a sudden they're way back in the lead again and so close to victory. Fnatic get their buy, JW with armor for the first time this half almost, and we are looking at the defining round. If Fnatic lose this, the map may well be Movistar's.
Oh, and yeah, already the opening kill yet again in favor of Alex over JW. This time with him pushing aggressive towards Ivy, finds JW up close, gives them the man advantage. They don't really get any other info, I don't believe, about if there was anyone a little bit further back on Ivy, but they've still made the decision to actually put 2 players over on the B bomb site. A quick rotation can come in from Easter through Connector then once they call for that to help out as well. So this is going to be so difficult for Fnatic. And there is still Molotovs here that could delay the push. At least one in the hands of Steel. He does throw it out. They give them one less angle to worry about, but Brolin just swings straight out into the bomb site. But they don't know Lowell is there. There's a smoke right now as well, giving him room to play with. Pushes in to get one, doesn't quite manage to get the second. And suddenly it's a man advantage for Fnatic. They've even got one in the back lines. And it doesn't seem like Movistar Riders have any idea about that.
Not a clue. Yeah, that's the problem. As soon as they lose Alex, Steel is just on an island surrounded by an ocean of Fnatic players. He looks to slowly evaporate them, but Brawlin is probably going to be the... Oh, never mind. No time either way. I didn't think Golden was going to stick around to try and take that duel on low HP, but he was feeling it. Unfortunately, all he felt in the end were a couple of bullets. That kind of loss, one extra rifle. It's not the end of the world for Fnatic, but would like to see them survive with 2, especially considering, as we said before, Movistar do have the money to continue on the investment. Getting the op saved over does help them a lot more, though. Even being able to drop over a weapon to one of the weaker players, Mopaz, who couldn't... Well, he could afford a buy, but not with full utility in M4 armor and a kit. Double op setup as well, making its appearance. And on 13 to 12, another opportunity for Movistar to set Fnatic down to a low buy.
Yeah, again, a hefty investment though for Movistar. They do themselves need to win this one, otherwise they won't have much money left over. I believe they know Golden's already been able to creep his way out in towards Olaf. The nade not quite going to be going there, though. It actually maybe could have finished him off, even being 52. But either way, they do have themselves a little bit of a health advantage early on. The smoke going down actually allows for Golden to retreat away. Obviously, they don't know that, but I don't know if they were 100% aware that he was out, but they definitely are being cautious. So kind of a little bit of a nuisance to them right now, just not knowing if there's a player there. They will have to maybe use a little bit of utility, flash a player in, and check if it is going to be clear. Otherwise, obviously, they have to worry about it, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking a bit of time to do so. As you see already, Fnatic are again grouping back up over in the B halls. They found a bit of success towards B, and they want to try it again. The issue is there's an op pushed all the way up in towards upper. Easter's holding obviously an angle which will be hard for him to fall back away from, but as I say, that finds one and does actually manage to escape. He's going to stick around, looking to peek back in as soon as he finds contact here. Here's the footsteps coming in. Won't be able to actually connect this time and will eventually be forced to fall back off, but it seems like that slowed down Fnatic massively as well. They no longer want to commit.
Making lots of noise up top. And for Movistar, 3 players towards the B site, plus 1 coming on a flank upper B. Oh, this is working out perfectly as Fnatic do eventually start to move towards the B site. They are about to be in a world of hurt. They didn't see anyone pop, so they won't expect this early flank. But they're not able to hold them back all for too long. Steel is being checked as well. Never mind, they were looking up above and took down Eastor. Now ready for the flank to come through. And popping as Lowell grabs himself a kill. They know where he's coming from. A play has to be made by Alex, and with an AWP, getting access is very dangerous. He doesn't know if one of the Fnatic players is pushed up close. And indeed they have. We look right at Flusha. It might catch him off guard as both players even look towards Khan.
Maybe not. Flusha had gone in towards the spawn. Comes back out just in time to actually see Alex pushing through. So indeed, going to stop that op from being carried over. Thankfully, Lowell at least finds himself one there at the bottom of the ramp. They kind of just traded ops like, okay, we'll take yours, you can have ours then. Deal? Cool. All good then. But no, it's not really all good for Movistar Riders. That's the issue because their money is lacking here. The op being saved over does help them out massively though, actually, if we're being honest there. Because now you can see Lowell obviously give that over to, I would imagine, to Easter. He'll then give an M4 to someone who's lacking money. Lowell could buy himself another M4, so they'll have a pretty decent investment here, which otherwise wouldn't have been possible. But it is not perfect. Mopos is going to be on a weaker weapon, and if they lose this, they'll be on a much worse one in the following round and actually keep themselves alive.
That's it. The pulse is starting to fade on what has otherwise been a strong map for Movistar Riders. A good performance, impressing us by putting Fnatic down to indeed a 12-12 scoreline at one point. But from there, Fnatic haven't relented and now look to finish this one off. Light utility remaining. Steel's managed to cross. I don't think Brawlin spotted it. Oh, the spam though does damage. They hear him being shot, and that's easy peasy. As a 14-12 with a man advantage, Fnatic are in such a good position.
Yeah, that wallbang damage was crazy. Steel might be a little bit tilted about that one. Fortunately, it doesn't bend too easily, but here we go. Fnatic with that advantage just want to commit quickly on towards A now. They did spot Alex going up on the ground. He's going to be taken down quickly. Sorry, green it was that he went up on towards. They are actually able to fight back in fairly well. Lowell gets himself that double to give them a fighting chance. And Easter still just hiding on the bomb site. Mopa's actually trying to pounce with that flank. Once he's been spotted now, that's an issue because he's only got the MP9. They know where he is, and unfortunately, Easter on the bomb site is gone. There we go. JW posts up. The bomb was being planted. Mopa's wanted to try and pounce while he had the chance for the one-on-one. But it is not allowed. 15-12. We've seen 3 now in a row from Fnatic after what was looking to be a fantastic comeback from Movistar Riders. It seems like they are falling a bit short here in the end. Obviously, it's not over, but as I said, losing that previous round there puts them on a much worse investment than we've seen from them over these past couple. They've finally had that economy broken. It gives them 1 FAMAS, 4 Deagles, some nades, sure, but they don't even have a kit.
And for Movistar, I think some of the win conditions have been ticked and that Eastor started to perform much better on the CT side. He turned up on the op. Mopaz has been holding very well towards B ramp. But unfortunately, as you look towards a weakened buy, those 1-for-1 trades mean even less than normal. I mean, for the CT side, when you end up in a 4v4, it gets difficult, but when you've also got Deagles for the most part to deal with your opponents, well, even more so. Full utility essentially in play for Fnatic. They can take things wherever they want and don't need to offer up any more 1-to-1 fights, knowing that they're up against weaker weapons as well. I'm even surprised to see the likes of Flusha sticking around so long towards the ramp, and eventually he does decide to back off. Looks like A is going to be hit late on. And this is unfortunate because heavy rotations have come in towards the B bomb site, leaving Lowell by himself with a FAMAS, having to hold off against 4 players as they execute through.
This is going to be near impossible for that 1 FAMAS to hold down. The only positive, I guess, is that they don't know exactly where he is. Once they don't see anyone, they might presume that it is a bit of a full-on B stack going in. Once they of course note a few players coming through connector as well. So with that kill especially being found, there is now a chance for the FAMAS to pounce. They have no idea. Yeah, look at this from Lowell. Creeping out, unfortunately, only now going to be spotting a man up on E-Box. That's golden, but he takes the head off instantly with the AK, dropping it to the 3-on-3. I had already pointed out, of course, that there's no defuse kit in play, so they need to move extremely quickly with this, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. All of the headshots coming in. Easter gets the double on the Deagle. Of course, also, the flank being won out by Mopa's, being able to get that kill in main, that was the biggest help, because that made those other players have to worry as well about, obviously, the A-main flanker coming in. It gave the opportunity for the connector players to start pushing forward as the focus was finally taken a little bit somewhere else, and they fight back in. They're able to recover that round, give themselves the chance now to only need 2 more for the overtime, but the first of which is likely just up against maybe a few upgraded pistols. It would be strange if Fnatic were to fully buy here, so let's see. Yeah, already just Kevlar for Crims. The Eagles, I believe, have been dropped all over.
I mean, Mopaz and Eastor, though, in that round on the Deagles, that is a saving grace, but the timeout is perfectly called. Movistar did this on their terrorist side and managed to follow through with a couple of rounds, 3, I believe, to close it out. Only losing the final in that half, but the pause, the discussion, the downtime definitely helped them out. Now that we move through with 2 rounds remaining, JW again on a glass cannon AWP. No head armor, actually. No helmets for a lot of these players. They walk in with just Deagles alongside the Kevlar. Movistar should be connecting 14, but they've got to be ready for a faster play. One that could catch them off guard, and Fnatic look to be. They hear a Molotov go down early on, though. Mopaz is not taking any chances. He hears all those steps and says, no, not having it that quickly. As the molly fades, a rotate is through from Eastor, and Lowell gets close and Pop Dog to catch them if they do come down, which is risky against Eagles, let me tell you. But he's also going to be quick on the flank, already coming through. They just need to delay them.
Yeah, they might even be able to do a lot more than that. Mopo's already opening things up, gets the second as well, and as you said, with that flank coming in, there really isn't much to be done from Fnatic. They try and just force the bomb plant into smoke. It is not allowed, and with that Flusha all alone, I mean, has gotten 1 kill, with that giving himself a potential AK, but also both of the players just posted up the ramp, stopping it from being retrieved. Could he not? I imagine he could have reached it from there, but tried to instead swing out before picking it up, see if he could catch one player off guard. Because obviously once he picks up the AK, they realize that he is just right there at the ramp, if they were watching up. But yeah, either way, doesn't go in their favor, as you wouldn't really have expected. You were already stressing that it's going to be tough for them to really do anything, and it's really this round where they look to close it out, but it's still not perfect. JW, not only does he not get the op, he doesn't even get an AK.
Oh, that one's really rough, considering the faster play to B when you've got a glass cannon AWP, and that leaves you with nothing in this one for that player. Movistar could be hitting this into an overtime. It's definitely possible. They've got their double op setup. They've got everything they could possibly dream of. And I'm surprised, man. Fnatic, they haven't called a single pause yet, right?
I don't believe so. Movistar Riders obviously called that one like a round ago there, where I was thinking maybe Fnatic would have. I realized instantly it was Movistar Riders. It gave Fnatic a bit of time to discuss, so maybe they were using that. But it would have been nice to see them use their pause here going into what could be potentially the final round of this one if they are able to close it out. If not, we could be looking at the overtime, of course. As much as the challenge Pop Dog, that could be dangerous. A nice little spam onto Steel gives a small health advantage in favor of Fnatic, which of course is going to be helpful. As a certain slogan goes, every little helps. Oh, is he going to go down? That is ballsy.
He spotted Steel just to confirm his position and go for further spams, and tried to fake out the flashbang. Pulled the pin and just ran down afterwards. Steel was so ready for it. The aggressive position, the molly doing so much damage. Op lined up and ready to go. Finishing Brawling off and putting it into a 3v5. Fnatic are falling apart. And Crims looks to step it up again. The shot's missed by Eastor, and Crims in with a double. We've seen him almost do this in a 1v5, but this time he's got buddies to back him up. Oh, but Lowell, I don't know how he survives that. He bought the super heavy armor.
1 health is what he survived on as well. That's going to be a little bit of a tilter, but with the damage being done, it certainly helps out JW and Golden. The issue is Mopo's right now creeping in behind on Ivy. I don't think Golden has any idea. He is not going to be turning around, so it is all left onto JW. Has the chance maybe to try and force the one-on-one here on Mopo's, and if he gets that kill, as we pointed out, Lowell being pretty much dead at this point, only a single point of HP, but the flash comes in, they peek it together, or at least attempt to, as you see the swing come in from Lowell, a risky and a dangerous one. But in the meantime, Mopos was already getting ready to hop on the bomb, and with the kill coming in either way, there is no risk. So it is indeed going to be an overtime, Mitch. We've made it to this point. Movistar Riders, they were able to come back with 3 in a row there towards the end. Overall, showing us a very strong CT side. If they can keep that up now in the overtime, they definitely have the chance to try and get themselves the victory here on Train. Inferno obviously coming up next is one where Fnatic are going to be feeling more comfortable because it's a map that they play a lot more often, but Movistar Riders play it a lot as well, so if they come back, if they go onto it off the back of a victory here on Train, then it could still be a very entertaining one for sure.
100%. I mean, coming into this, you did not expect Movistars to reach an overtime. Oh, Molly missed by Eastor, but we'll ignore it. I mean, I didn't. I pointed it out. Too late now. Oh, well. Poor dude. But Movistar, they've been impressive. They've really pulled this back into a spot that I'm immensely surprised they're in. Fnatic, they will not be happy to end up in an OT. Regardless of whose map choice it is, they don't care. But they've picked up the opening duel. That's a good advantage to play with. Oh my god, Brawlin twice now should be dead. Eastor follows through on JW, looks for the second player they know is there. And indeed gets him with a wallbang headshot. But still, as to how Brawlin's alive, he got peeked. Or he peeked through just as Eastor left the angle with the op. And then the swing through from Lowell still didn't find the kill somehow. Thanking his lucky stars. And that might just be what pulls them across the line as they move over to the B site to get a plant. But already a sneaky beaky steal coming up past Oil.
No, they're not expecting this at all. Crims gets taken down before they know there's a player up close on the bomb site. Obviously now leaving Brolin in a 1-on-3. Smoke goes down. He's actually going to use that as a little bit of a one-way here. Steel is going to push forward, so that should be one free kill. There we go. Brolin brings it down into the 1-on-2. It's the flank now as well that's coming in. So if he manages to get this fight against Eastor quickly, at that point he could have given himself some room to work with for that 1-on-1. He needed it instantly though, so that he wouldn't just get flanked out, and obviously not being able to win the fight against the upper is the other negative outcome for him as he does go down. 16-15 Movistar Riders after 3 in a row towards the end of the regulation. They are able to keep it up here by getting that first round into the overtime. Off to a good start, and a necessity as well when you're on the CT side.
100% with the 10 KOT. You got to be winning those early rounds. Now they're secure to at least keep on buying. Lel straight into Pop. They hadn't seen him, and he fades out just as quickly. Great openings. They want to try to punish him before he bails away, but an op brings out. That makes them a little bit scared to keep on swinging, but still JW, the man without a care in the world. Steel spotted from on top of the train. He was on the ladder waiting to spot some info, and he got the info at a heavy cost. The double ops, though, the ones to answer it back. Eastor continues forward, catches Crims, but not good on the quick scope. A 2 versus 2. The cross still being watched by Alex. They know he's here, and now they know about Mopaz. Crims has to win out the clutch, and he goes towards B to do it, but he's spotted as well on the fade back.
And unfortunately, he isn't quite going to make it before Mopaz gets there either. There is a molly and a nade in play. He's actually going to come in from heaven, which may not be expected. If he swings down looking at Isle, then at this point could definitely catch Mopaz off guard. Or if he just moves across like this, Mopaz will have no idea. Oh, this is being played really well by Crims right now. The question is, will he actually end up looking over to the left and noticing that player? Or what is his goal? He could still try and even creep it around through the back lines on towards A if he wanted. The issue is Mopaz, who's pushed up through B, may be calling. Oh, this is clear. He must be either still sitting in A main, maybe in Pop Dog, or could be coming up Ivy towards you right now, which is not the case at all.
.20 seconds remaining. These positions being held down by Movi should confirm the round. Crims is completely blind, walking through every player is, but Movistar are the ones in the better position. The plant on its way. Mopaz swings, can't see him. Neither can Alex, but they know where he's planted at this point. Without peeking, though, they're... Oh, wait, did they think it was B for a second? Mopaz started going up the ladder. As he comes out, he's punished for it. But Crims, no idea on the second player. Alex should have this in the bag. He's heard the steps. He knows he's coming. Oh, that came close. But Movistar take it as well, and there's a taste of your own medicine. That was madness, Dean.
Whew. Yeah, no, that was crazy back and forth. That whole kind of 1-on-2 just played out in a mad way. They walked past each other around B. Crims was then able to walk it around through the bomb site, in through connector. Ended up kind of planting in between the crossfire of the players over on the A bomb site, who then for a second seemed to think it was B, or at least one of them. I'm not sure if he was trying to fake out that he was moving back up Pop Dog, but it wasn't like he made noise or anything, I don't think.
Here we go, Dean. Rocking into the final round. A full buy for Movi. Fnatic are lucky enough being 2-0 down that they can still afford to invest. Ain't every day you see that. The bomb plans really well pull them across the line. But for Movistar Riders, there is no doubt about it. This is one of the best performances you could have come in expecting of them. Yes, they're in an overtime. The fact that they're answering 2-0, the possibility for a third 100% is there, although it's a little harder than usual being this Fnatic have got that full buy. I'm impressed. I'm blown away. I didn't expect this kind of Movistar to turn up.
No, they are certainly turning up. As I say that, Crims goes ahead and trades out on towards B, but there's no way they expect this from Steel. Yeah, he had already flanked up through Pop Dog. Unfortunately, with the smoke down on the lower ramp, he's not going to be able to pounce on JW for the moment, so you are seeing the T's being given some time to set up. They've gone for a more aggressive afterplant at least, but one of those players, being Crims, flanking in himself, though, can't really make the noise to come in and help quickly. He's been... Oh, no, this is... that is very unfortunate. Lel, he's coming in from behind. Yeah, he couldn't make noise there because he didn't want the other player to hear him, but obviously that gave a little bit of room for JW to be taken down, and then by the time Brolin does get moving forward, Lowell was only then coming up Pop Dog, so that was unfortunate. But Movistar Riders, they've done it. They got themselves the flawless CT side. They only need one more round to go ahead and close it out here on Train, and obviously the optimal kind of outcome right now for Fnatic is that they get a flawless CT themselves as well and manage to force it to a second overtime.
Eastor 26 kills at the moment. He's been showing up on the AWP. That was a win condition we highlighted as they moved into this. One that we were a little bit afraid of. You know, we mentioned that Movistar don't have the opportunity to play against this level of opponent every day of the week. It's definitely not their home turf. And for Eastor, adapting to it is definitely going to be one of the bigger challenges this lineup faces. But boy, oh boy, have they adapted to it. Fnatic looking down and out at the moment. At T side was a lot flatter than it needed to be, and as we move on through to what could be the final round, Movistar, they will lose out. No, they won't. What? I don't know how he wins that fight, but Brawlin's somehow taken down. And Golden traded to 20 HP off the back of it. This isn't a bad spot for the T side, especially considering that should have been a clean frag onto Alex and a one-man advantage for Fnatic. That was dirty.
Yeah, you still need to kind of put into account the damage that was done to Alex and a small bit to Steel as well. But obviously a 4-on-4 here, not a bad spot for Movistar Riders to be in. It seems like they're just going to group up straight over towards B, where Flusha is actually pushing up fairly aggressively. If he falls, Golden is low health, obviously playing a little bit more passively at the moment from Connector. Has the chance to catch Easter off guard. Here we go, a free kill. The remaining 3 players moving down through the ramp now have to worry about Heaven so much as they try and get that bomb planted. They're going to have to plant it a little bit more securely. Flush actually goes forward with the flash though. The Molotov forced him out, but he doesn't care. He's getting all of the kills off the back of it, apart from the one on Alex, who is still low. So that shouldn't be too difficult. And what the hell was that? Grimsh just jumped through the smoke. I didn't even catch it on my my cam.
Well, whatever happened, Fnatic take themselves within 2 rounds, and Movistar pull out their final pause. Interesting. I would have thought they got extra pauses when we went to OT, right? Like, even 1, but they're still stuck with it, apparently.
Must be just the standard
well, actually, you know what? Let me just propose an alternate scenario. Maybe that all their pauses get removed and they're given 1, and Movistar have just popped theirs because it says 0 out of 4. We would only know for sure, because I haven't checked the rule set, if Fnatic called one, but so far they haven't been at all.
This is 4 out of 4 for me from Movistar here.
Oh, okay, well on ours it says 0 out of 4 remaining. The server is
Oh,
programmed
yeah, okay.
though to always show a 4.
You've got
so
the custom HUD as
you don't
well.
know.
I've just got
Yeah.
the default one, so
you don't know. Maybe it just gives you 3 out of 4 used going into OT.
2 still in the row though for Fnatic. That's not going to be easy by any means. If they get this one, and if the bomb doesn't get planted for Movistar Riders, then the buy will be a little bit shaky in this following round for Movistar. So this is kind of the one where ideally they do want to be closing out, where they have no issues with that investment. How they've been playing so far as well, I certainly do believe it. Just looking at the scoreboard right now, everyone is so close. Steel going to go ahead and add 1 more to his frag count, though, bringing himself up to 24, as he finds actually a player pushed up close towards the E-box there, I believe it was indeed. Brolin, through the edge of the flames, got spammed down by, I guess, just not expecting such a quick play to come in. Steel also instantly fell back off, realizing I don't want to give any chance for Fnatic actually to be able to return this kill. We are in a fantastic position right now. Good nade damage as well. Puts Crims to the perfect number.
Magic number. Oh, JW, he spots the booty, and hello. Gives Mopaz a little bullet kiss. That's it. 4 versus 2. Movistar Riders shouldn't be getting away with this one. 1 minute on the clock. Plenty of time to work with, but not plenty of players. As he stores the last alive, the scope comes through, and he gets himself a duel. But how much more can he be expected to get, especially with the bomb and T-spawn?
Yeah, that's the issue. He has a bit of time. There's, what, just over 40 seconds. He's going to actually trade through a different knot. Maybe this one has some crazy powers on it. It is JW's up. Crims is low health, so in theory, he could be finished off a little bit easier by even a pistol at this point. So, let's see. Backing away, though, as you said, with the bomb down towards main, it is pretty much a necessity that he retrieves it. But at this point, it's no longer possible, because even if he got the bomb, obviously, he couldn't run it towards B. If he was to bring it out main, he'd have to go through all of the players at that point to try and win it out. Gets the one on Flusha, but with 14 seconds, it's all about just fighting for survival at this point, and they are still hunting him. Crims is going to be pushing straight in. I don't think Easter knows he's low, and he doesn't know who exactly he's fighting against, so he is going to peek in with the op, and unfortunately, not expecting Crims to have elevated himself up there using the little lip of the train. So we do see 17 for Fnatic. They only need 1 more to force this into the second overtime now. And as I said, without the bomb plant, a couple of players are slightly lacking on money. You see Alex is stuck down to just body armor behind his AK because he gave the op over to Easter. Other than that, though, the rifles, a few nades do come out, but it is not perfect. This is it. Movistar Riders, their last chance to close it out here in this overtime.
It is the final opportunity to bring this through, where Fnatic will have just made the 3 rounds in a row. The spray from Flusha and Golden together. They take down 2 on the ramp. And Movistar, they tried a faster B play, but they got spanked out of it so damn quickly. The 2-man early B presence, not something Movistar had done on their CT side, and now they get punished for it as Flusha brings an AWP towards the back of the bomb site. He'll be working with that considering his low HP. He's bringing an AK all the way around to spawn, juggling them. He's got something to fall back on. But unfortunately, he can't fall back and pick it up as he gets taken down immediately, and they start to rotate to B on the back of that, not knowing that there's actually a player sneaking out behind Blue Train. Alex is lurking and brawling. He might just get caught off guard. Indeed he did.
Yeah, now if they can get this kill on towards JW around Ivy, they've pretty much opened the bomb site. They actually spot Crims creeping out a connector. This is crumbling for Fnatic. Suddenly it's down into a 2-on-2, at least with Golden being able to recover a small bit there. But they do still need to be a little bit scared at this point. Nades-wise, though, nothing remaining from Movistar Riders to try and keep these CTs from having vision. So they are likely going to have to take the fights if they want to get that bomb planted. Yeah, Alex is going to be left up on top of green here to try and cover off. They have to worry about Pop Dog, though, as well. They don't know where Golden's coming from. So they're going to tap it out, fake for a moment, see if they can base some of those peaks to come in. And when they do eventually, unfortunately, that's when they're no longer watching the correct positions. Golden alongside JW to close this one out and bring it into the second overtime. Steele was doing what he could, but with low health. JW known as well, just resorts to the B250. Spams the last few bullets of that AK away just for good measure. Drops the Molotov as well. This is all necessary.
And we're going to keep
I love it. I love it. Keep going.
Just, yeah. Is he going to defuse now? He's reloading. You never know.
He might go back again. He still had 32 bullets. He should have just shot them off. That was a bit much. 18-18. Another overtime. Fnatic, they were able to do it. A perfect CT side of their own. And now they get to start on the CT side. That's the worry for Movistar.
Dean, we've got a hell of a game here. Honestly, this was looking like it was going to be a very one-sided affair. I didn't have a lot of faith in Movistar, although, as I said, Eastor over the last since he joined the lineup, really, he's been finding his footing, getting better. Last 2 months, 3 months, that's where I think he's starting to settle into those top 30 teams with confidence played out. But against Fnatic, I didn't expect the same kind of approach or results from him. I thought it would take a while for him to adjust. We talked about this coming into the start of this game. The excuses for him are there. He's got them to fall back on, but he doesn't care about it. But Golden doesn't give a damn about Movistar's B push. Again, both players that go towards B lose their lives, and Movistar look to slowly move on to A. This might be predictable, though, because Fnatic have seen this story before, and they find themselves another kill onto Steele. But JW, he almost loses his life. An opportunity now presented to Movistar Riders to come back. They know where JW is. Eastor, the player he could have taken down, follows through with another, but then goes wild and tries to delete JW. Only tags him in the legs, putting him to 11 HP, but allowing him to fall back and play that angle, harass Lel.
Being already tagged up obviously doesn't help Lowell out in this one, but against one of the players being an opper, it may not be the biggest of deals. Certainly still winnable. Crims is in towards Connector. If he had have won that fight, it would have given him so much room there to just play off with a bomb, and it would have been a lot easier for himself, but unfortunately isn't able to do so. Alright, it's Crims now who takes his turn. JW is still alive. Were Movistar Riders spamming bodies? Because I didn't notice it. It seems like Fnatic are a little ticked off or something.
Fnatic did it the first time,
yeah,
and then Movistar started to answer back doing it. So now they're like, oh, you want to spam us? Yeah, we'll get into a fight. It's spam better than you, bro. So saving an AWP over an AK, considering they've just won the first round, I don't think that's the right call. They could afford to invest into an AWP, have it dropped over by Brawlin or Golden, even Crims, and still have enough money to fight for that final round. I would... Why has Slusha got an SMG? Dean, am I missing something?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
What is going on?
Yeah, honestly. We've seen Fnatic do this more so on the T side, though, where they're willing to put a Mac 10 on the man who's going to be entry
usually
fragging.
Golden
I'm
as well.
guessing he's going to go aggressive with this now. Yeah, you're right. It is normally Golden. On maps like Inferno, they love it when they're doing the balcony drop, for example. But
Eastor's being burned alive.
A little bit of a change up. Yeah, Crims has gone ahead and actually burned one alive in main. Did they combine a nade with that? Oh, okay. Flusha did continue going aggressive with the MP9 despite getting the man advantage. That has given an opening back into this round potentially for Movistar Riders, especially as Mopos has actually creeped all the way out in towards Hell right now. They have no idea. He may be able to catch someone off guard. They've gone ahead and traded places between those Ivy players as well, as he has been joined by Steele to try and give the assistance here to open up the A bomb site, but it's not happening. It is all on Alex now, 1 on 4. They might just be hugging in the smoke for the moment, but I don't think it's a friendly one. And there we go. Eventually Alex gets taken down. No BM, yeah. Brolin's like, nah, I'm not being part of that. He just gets his AK, gets a couple of flashes to the salvage into this round, and Yeah, Movistar Riders struggling here on the D side as they did there in that previous overtime, as Fnatic did in that previous overtime. Ideally, you want to see one of these teams just getting one round on the T side, and then they'll be feeling pretty comfortable. So there's still the chance, obviously, from Movistar, but they are lacking a small bit. It's only really Lowell, fortunately. Not meaning Lowell's a bad player, but fortunately on everyone else, they do still have their weapons. Golden's pulled out an auto sniper, man.
Well, look, you gotta take the SMG in the second round so you can have an auto in the third. Why not? If it works, it works. But that upper B push definitely doesn't work as eStore comes through on the AWP, picks one. The whole Fnatic squad are on their way. It's just the second there were 4 players rushing towards B, but instead they settle on just Brawlin and Golden. The auto from far away looking to do some damage. Actually, not even that far now. He's playing around Gray. A little bit risky. Decides to create more distance as Brawlin pushes up close and plays down the bottom of the ladder. Movistar are going to commit towards the B side. You can see that clear as day. They just need the one round. They want to get this on the board. They have to. No idea about Brawlin, but now they do. The support already through from Crims, but it doesn't pull it all the way back, and definitely not with eStore's kill. The first T round of overtime looks to be on the board, unless JW's got something up his sleeve, and he doesn't, as through the smoke, eStore took that shot and put 19 on the board. Movistar Riders pick it up, and now they could be pulling it all the way. We saw a flawless CT from them before. They've just got to do it one more time.
Yeah, but the only adjustment Fnatic need as well is to at least confirm one round on their T side this time if they want to have the security of another overtime. Obviously, if Movistar Riders could do it on their T side, nothing to say that Fnatic aren't able to have an improved one here in this second overtime either. So I'm expecting this to still be very, very exciting right now. And Movistar Riders, as you would expect, going straight into the double up setup here on the CT side, which, as you mentioned, is very costly. Alex wanted to get aggressive on Ivy. There was already his own Molotov down, but you've seen one come in return with that, do a small bit of damage and just force him really to fall back away, which is likely setting Fnatic up, I was going to say, for an A split, perhaps a little bit later on in the round. They did have the bomb around main, I believe that was, but it's now beginning to move back. It looks like they're going to focus most of their players around the B halls, although Brolin is still in towards main. So I believe trying to sell a little bit of a fake here, going to bring it on towards B later on in the round. They still have loads of nades. They've barely even used anything at this point. But there is 2 players set up for Movistar Riders at the moment, and with their own nades, including Molotovs, they could delay this push quite a bit. The issue is JW down Pop Dog had found an opening kill. I was a bit worried there for Steel as well. Thankfully, he is able to trade, but he nearly gets got from main. Did Brolin jump or something? I don't know what was going on there, but he gets the kill in the end.
Fnatic edge forward, but right into the op of Steel. Or of eStore, excuse me. Steals with the assist from earlier on. Mopaz fades back behind the site before they can trade him. He now knows there's the last 2 players here, so the rotates are already in effect. Good wall bang by eStore, but they've got to finish it off. Lowell is on his way up behind again, but they've done this so many times. Fnatic have got to have some spidey senses about it. As soon as they hit tab and see who the players are, they know Lowell has been coming up that ladder again and again. They're watching for it. They're ready as he swings through. He's spamming, giving away his position even further, and Golden is going to be traded. Not even traded. Lowell survived that on 6 HP. The man's got the super armor yet again. And eStore with a 3K. Dean, I've heard people chat smack about eStore's op, but I think this just about proves the point to all you noobs out there that he's not a bad opper. It is all about finding his feet versus these better teams. And right now he's rocking through with, how many kills has he got?
35.
35!
34 for Crims.
Let's go. Let's go. Call eStore bad again.
Players for sure.
Do it. This is what the 3rd best team in the world, 2nd by the rankings. I can't remember. It's been changing a lot recently.
I remember you mentioned earlier he was having a slow start, and everyone was like, "Why do you think Movistar are bad?" They were going mad at you. Nah, you don't. You said he needed to warm up because they don't obviously normally play against teams like Fnatic. They have been lately, obviously, here in Road to Rio, being up against higher level competition.
Of course.
And had some really good upsets as well. eStore had a slow start. He eventually warmed himself up, and since then has been incredible for them. And with it being 20-20 right now, Movistar Riders only 2 away from taking the victory. As you said, we've already seen them get 1 flawless CT side in an overtime. Who's to say they can't do it again? And that's exactly what they are looking for right now. If we see 21-21 though, obviously that means we're going to be needing a 3rd overtime to actually decide who gets the victory. As Fnatic look to just take it likely straight on towards B within the next few seconds, not having really any presence elsewhere apart from JW again lurking Pop Dog with the AWP. The suspense is there was very little apart from just JW kind of running around the E-box right there.
Still 3 players B as they move forward. This is going to be hard. They don't know Lawless here. I mean, how would you? And he picks up the frag, swings for more, gets Crims being dropped on by Flusha, but he doesn't let that fly as Mopaz saves the day. And 21 on the board for Movistar Riders. As you're seeing in the top right, that is match point if they take this round. And remember, they haven't lost a single CT round in overtime so far. This will be the end of Fnatic on train, and they'll manage to pull it all the way back. It was 12-12. Fnatic pulled it off to 14. It looked like they were going to walk away with the map and shut Movistar out. 36 kills on the board for Eastor. The man is opping like an animal. He had a slow start in the first half. Things were going according to the script, but all of a sudden, Movistar tore it up. Alex towards Ivy, again getting aggressive on the op. Fnatic have got an idea, though. They're tucked away. They're waiting for that to come through. Flash goes around. He fires off and leaves. They don't play too aggressive afterwards. They don't want to overcommit to it.
They've already had a few troubles against Alex over on Ivy, so understandably so that they were being a little bit more cautious this time. The nades, I believe, coming in, although Alex is now being tagged up by the Deagle for the smoke as well as Steel. So actually a decent amount of damage has been done in favor of Fnatic here to kick this round off. Obviously needing to pick this one up if they want to confirm another overtime. A lot of presence being shown around Ivy, but it is only those 2 players for now. Throwing out most of their nades. They might leave one, I believe, to lurk up. That's JW with the Deagle. Has been spotted and at this point is kind of pinned in the corner. The smoke going down, though, should stop Alex from being able to do too much. He'll try and time the shot. Doesn't quite manage to find it. And yeah, eventually JW will begin to actually cover some ground around that area, which is likely setting them up for an A split. As we can see, most of the players now grouped up around main. They do still have nades as well for this execute, and JW, he is going to find contact real soon. Deagle on Deagle at this point. Alex, not even caring about the op, does peek in and spot the shoulder at JW. Brings it a man advantage now in favor of Movistar Riders before this push can actually come in for Fnatic, and they line up for Steel, getting himself the double. This looks like it could be it, Mitch. It's going to be Inferno up next for Fnatic to try and recover, unless Flush is able to pull off a 1 versus 5 right now. And I've got to say, I'm not really having the belief in him. No, Steel is up close, low health for him, but all 5 players are focused in. The nades still being in play, or at least the one there. Doesn't do too much damage, but by the time he peeks out, oh, they're going for the knife. That is crazy. Obviously not going to affect the outcome. They still get themselves the victory, and there it is. Train eventually going the way of Movistar Riders. They're able to pick up their own map choice.